There is cloths related to a wedding ritual. Could you elaborate something regarding this?
Sorry? Yes. When was it? In Gujarat, we came across the wedding, what do we call it? A mask which the men wear, and it's full of clothes. Clothes are woven into it, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
I think there's a reason for this. If the men are not very good looking, then if you wear a mask in front of you, then your bride doesn't know what you're like. But she smells the smell of clothes, and so she falls for you. It's a very clever device. I didn't wear this mask when I married Colleen, so I think she's been wearing it ever since.
Very late.
When I was reading the book, there were certain misconceptions that they've clearly cleared out. As in, for example, the Westerners think that we use chilies in all our dishes, which is not true. And a lot of Westerners do not know that we have a lot of chilies, different varieties of chilies, which are different in terms of pungency and consistency. So, could you talk about certain misconceptions that the Westerners have about the spices used in India?
Yes, that's true. I don't know why when we first went to Britain on our first visit, many, many years ago, they asked us if we wanted to have curry. So we said, yes, we would. We felt we felt homesick. So we saw what the chef did. He got stew, and he put chili powder into it, and mixed it and said, this is curry. This is not curry. You have the misconception that by mixing chili powder, you convert bland Western food into Indian food. Indian food has a fantastic number of spices. Every spice has a therapeutic value. And consider this, that in the West, people after a certain age suffer from dementia. There are virtually no cases of dementia in the Indian population. And we believe it's because we have spices. Every spice is a little pharmacopoeia to keep you. Therefore, spices are not just flavor. Spices are more than curry powder. Spices are more than chili powder. Spices are a total therapeutic need.
For example, fenugreek, which is native to us in India, is a very good if you suffer from high cholesterol. We don't, but we, as a matter of precaution, we have a teaspoon of methi soaked overnight and have it at breakfast time every morning.
There's a beautiful story in the book regarding the healing powers of turmeric, how turmeric healed the wing of a peacock. Could you elaborate more on this, please?
We live in the Himalayas. Around about this time, many years ago, a beautiful bird, we call it the Himalayan peacock. It's not a peacock, it's a beautiful bird, came into our garden and then flew across to the other side. And the other side, two wretched young men, boys who should themselves have been shot, fired at this peacock and damaged its wing. Our son went, not at this peacock, at this bird that we call the peacock. It's actually a jay. Our son went and rescued it and brought it back to my late mother. Now, she used an old Bihari treatment. She put a poultice of turmeric, haldi, on this peacock's wing, tied it up. And then my mother was had only one drink, and she would drink a small peg of deported brandy. which is rather expensive, that we used to get it for. So she put this poultice on the bird's wing and gave it a little tot of Napoleon brandy. The bird promptly fell asleep. And my mother said, poor thing, if it dies, it's died in comfortable surroundings. No way did that bird die. Next morning it went quack and asked for breakfast. Now, whether it is the Napoleon brandy, which I am not promoting, or it is the turmeric, which I have to promote, I am sure it is the turmeric.
I think there's a lot we can relate with the book. We believe spices have a lot of values to it, a lot of health benefits. For example, my mother used to take fenugreek. She used to dip it in water and take it the next day because it helps to reduce cholesterol, arthritis, blood pressure. So I would like to know the kind of practices both of you follow.
Well, as I told you earlier, fenugreek or methi, we have that every morning with breakfast, and we also have garlic.
If you want to know what practices I follow to keep my blood pressure down, I always agree with my wife. I never have high blood pressure. But fenugreek also helps.
It's definitely the best medicine. Now I want to know, of all the world's spice, which do you think is the most beautiful? Do you agree on one particular spice, or do you have a different answer?
Well, if you look at the flower, I would say saffron. It is absolutely beautiful.
In Kashmir once, we went up to the high fields, and it seemed to be that the field was covered in mauve smoke. Mauve and saffron smoke. Can you imagine mauve and saffron together? The whole field was covered in mauve and saffron smoke. We asked what? He said that is a saffron field. You know, the saffron that is used is not the flower. It is the stamens of the flower. And the funny thing is, someone, and we mentioned this in the book, someone told us that if a non-Kashmiri harvests saffron, he gets a headache. Kashmiris never get headaches. We checked up the actual word for saffron in the dictionary. And one of the Latin words used to describe saffron is crocin, C-R-O-C-I-N. So don't take too much crocin, have saffron instead.
I would like to ask ma'am, what are spices to you? What are the kind of feelings that come in when you think about spices?
Well, naturally, one would think of food, of curry. Curry has garam masalas, and also ginger and turmeric and coriander, all that. So generally spices, that's what we think of food, however.
The other way of putting this would be that you should always marry someone who then stays the spice of your life. And that would make for a very good marriage, and will keep on reminding you about the spices book. Although my wife can't remember the spices book.
Another question to the Gansers. Is there any kind of change that you would like to see in terms of spices in India? Any kind of improvement? Anything that comes into your mind when it comes to spices?
Promote spices in the northeast. Why don't you come to our state of Uttarakhand? We have the same kind of climate as the northeast. Do come and start some spice cultivation in our state.
Definitely, we definitely will consider that. Thank you so much.
15th century, many European seafarers from Portugal, Holland and England and Spain, they set out on voyages and discovered new lands. Now, what exactly were they out to discover? They were not exactly out to discover these new lands. Do you know what they were out to discover in the 15th century? Do you have an answer to this? Please raise your hands and I'll come with the mic. Okay, go. Yes, the spice trail, the spice route and the pepper, correct? Was the famous Portuguese admiral who set out to discover the sea route to India and reached the Malacca. Asha has the right answer, Vasco da Gama. We've all read about him in our history books, but probably now our memories are failing us, but Asha remembers. Okay, now on to the third question. Now can you name the Indian spice which was most in demand among the Arabs and the Europeans in those times? Most in demand.
Is it saffron?
Is it saffron?
No, that's the wrong answer.
Cardamom?
Chili?
Please don't.
Here's an answer. Chili.
Chili?
No. Just saying pepper? Yes, that's the correct answer, pepper. So Rohit has the correct answer. Yes, but Rohit I think gave the first correct answer. And who's the other gentleman who had pepper for us? Okay. Right? So they both have pepped up the session by giving the correct answer. Have you got your gift? Okay, you can get your book signed by the authors here after the program. Okay? Now the next question. Who was the minister in Emperor Akbar's court who wrote the famous Ain-e-Akbari and mentioned cinnamon as a popular Mughal cooking ingredient? Can you?
Yes, give us the answer.
Kumar.
Kumar has given the answer.
Shriti Kumar. Tulsi Kumar. Okay, Tulsi Kumar has given the correct answer. It's Abul Fazal indeed. Again from our class 5 and 6 history books, but our memories are failing. But Tulsi Kumar remembers it very well. Tulsi, did you get very high marks in history in school? Yes. Yeah. And did you get prizes?
Yes.
So he's keeping the tradition on.
Very good.
Clap for Tulsi. Okay, now that the TV is giving us company, I think we'll try and give some images for you to identify. Please try and remember what you heard from the conversation that we had, and they will be somewhat related to the images that you see. So I'll ask my young colleague Upma to show the first image. Now, this is related to the question that whether Indian spices were ever transported overland to the west. So Mrs. Ganser had an answer to that. I'm giving you a clue.
Yes. Very good.
Yes.
Petra.
That's Petra. That's Petra, ma'am.
Yeah, she's already.
So, what's your name? So Asha's memory hasn't failed her at all. She has a brilliant memory. Asha, what do you do? Do you have